The King of Curses versus the Control Devil, or in other words, Sukuna versus Makima, which is truly a compelling fight since both verses are popular and the characters on their own are also very popular themselves. But just in case you don't know them, Sukuna is from the series Jujutsu Kaisen and is the King of Curses, and is the main antagonist of this series along with being the strongest character in his series as well. Very notorious for this factor. Now, on the other hand, Makima is the Control Devil and the main antagonist of at least the Star of Chainsaw Man series and is one of the strongest characters as well. But in her series, she's also known for being very manipulative over majority of the characters. Which, of course, today we'll be talking about who wins between the two. I chose this topic because it's oddly very popular, but I did grow curious wondering who would really win between the two. So I decided to do my quick research on the two, and the conclusion will actually probably surprise you. But there is multiple scenarios we will have to go over, which will change the outcome in some aspects. So before I even get into it, I do want to mention that Makima will not have cursed energy. I decided to just not give it to her for a specific reason, but not for a specific reason, but just because I did not think it was necessary. So the two scenarios we will be going over today is Makima versus Sukuna. If she finds Sukuna lower than herself, and the other scenario being is she does not. So the first scenario would be, of course, if Makima's control ability works, which she would have to have superiority over Sukuna or not find him superior to her. And the second scenario is, of course, the opposite, where she doesn't find herself superior to Sukuna. So let's go over the first scenario first. Let's say Makima finds herself superior to Sukuna. Now, although Sukuna does have a very strong presence, Makima is very resilient to fear. You could even say she has a high fear resistance in general due to her not even being affected by the darkness devil at all, which was causing people to lose their minds and go insane. So I don't think Sukuna's mere presence would be enough to fear Hex Makima, and with that she would already find herself superior to Sukuna, as it's not a situation like Pochita where she admires or is even a fan of him. So therefore, in the scenario, Makima now has control over Sukuna, which I mean, it's pretty obvious what she does from there, which is just make Sukuna kill himself, since she would now be in control and could make him do whatever she pleases, and there's not much Sukuna can really do about this, as he has no kind of defense to defend from Makima's superiority, nor would his presence be enough to just make her concede and not feel superior. Now, for the second scenario where she can't get control over Sukuna, might unironically go very similar to the first situation. But this would be a head-on encounter and fight. Of course, Makima would not have a sacrificial lamb, nor the requirements to just insta-kill Sukuna, nor would she have knowledge on his name to do so. But Sukuna does have the better AP and can definitely cut through Makima, but the biggest issue would be her immortality and her very big pool of hacks that she would have by her side. Sukuna using Dismantle would be helpful in a normal scenario if she did not have countless get out of death free cards. To kill Makima, Sukuna would have to kill the entirety of Japan, which is something he would do in character, but the problem is he would not have any knowledge or ability, so he would not just do this automatically. I also just feel like Makima is outright faster than Sukuna, but most likely would not dodge his attacks, as it's pretty in character for her to just take attacks and keep going forward due to her immortality. Along with her just being faster than Sukuna due to her not having cursed energy, Malevolent Shrine would not work unless Sukuna did something similar to what he does in Shinjuku and increase the area in his domain to try and hit Makima. But I do think Makima could just tank the slashes or even just outright try to run out of the domain from the distance. But I doubt that she's fast and her travel speed is fast enough to do this. But I even went to go search up how many citizens would be in Japan to try and make it more realistic, and the number is 121,561,801. So yeah, Sukuna is cooked even if he killed her countless times. But going even into Makima's pool of hacks from herself and even her victims, which is majority of the devils along with Aki as well, and I won't go into every single ability, but it goes pretty fucking deep. Her bag looks like lethal shooters right now. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like very countless abilities. I checked it over. She has countless abilities on top of her own, which makes her pretty busted and absurd. People kind of downplay this and don't really look into this, but yes, Makima is very, very, very strong. Like, as an example, even with the Doll Devil, has very absurd abilities like with a touch, even if it is just on their clothes, he can turn them into dolls. And that is just the tip of the iceberg with how crazy the abilities can get. So I do think in both scenarios Makima wins, and I don't think it is close at all, as Makima has very big advantages. Even if you wanted to say, like, let's say Sukuna is, he would have a better chance just due to maybe his physical stats would probably be better, right? I will say Makima is probably without a doubt faster than Sukuna. I do think he could probably react to her, but he is, or she is definitely faster. On top of that, her AP alone, isn't that great. So Sukuna probably could tank some of her hits, but the problem is her other abilities, like her telepathic, her telekinesis attacks, like how she blasts Denji into the air. Those attacks would be great. I don't think they would damage Sukuna, but it would definitely send him far. But it's really the other abilities that put it in perspective where like it's a big gap when you put into just all the abilities and the devil abilities that she has. It's not close in that aspect. Sukuna just does not stand a chance whatsoever. So Makima does take this over Sukuna. Now that does bring us to the end of the video as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and like and sub up for more topics like this. So with that, I will be leaving and I will see you guys next time. Peace.